Good evening. Oh, were you in here waiting? Just like a minute early, so we'll see. I'm sure people will start to roll in. I hope everybody's had a good Thursday. Hey, Nick and Steph. Hey, Bob and Carrie. Hey, Melly Lynn, sorry. Hey, Caroline. Hey, feeling kind of breezy. Hey, Debbie. How's everybody doing this evening? Hey, Kim. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, Maximum Effort. Oh no, you're probably going to lose signal. Hey, Ampatone. Hey, Sarah. Thank goodness tomorrow is Friday. I know, right? Technically, today is my Friday. I don't work tomorrow. Hey, Rain. How are you? I hope everybody has had a good day. Mine was pretty uneventful. I just had work. I got home not too long ago. Oh no, Debbie. I hope you're okay. Hope you didn't get hurt. You were here first, Tiny Dancer. I was talking to you at the beginning. You were the only one in here there for a second. You beat me here. Oh, well, I'm glad you didn't get like seriously injured. I'm sorry you're bruised. I hope you have a speedy recovery. Okay, Maximum Effort. We'll be here. Hopefully this doesn't end up being super, super long, but I'm sure we all have some opinions and some feelings. And my last video, I was already over it. And then the video that came out last night, I was so frustrated over. It took everything I had to not like want to just get on live and have another rant like I had done, but I already did it that day and I wanted to have a minute to like calm down, rethink it, rewatch the video, which of course we all know I wasn't able to do because she privated it or deleted it. And then her antics of another apology today. So I think I am in the mindset that everybody's in, but I'm just, aside from being over it, like I have so many like frustrations with the video that she put up and then she deleted, which it sucks for people who didn't get an opportunity to watch it. Hey, Beauty Demon, we all know that she got nothing but hate on that video. I watched it within 3 minutes of it going up, and it already had the dislikes to likes ratio off, which I think she's been doing on all of her videos, which she is entitled to do. But then, I was literally reading the comments as people were commenting them and them rolling in. And she was actively deleting comments because I would refresh and comments that had maybe been harsh or calling her out for what she was doing would be gone. And I didn't even think to screenshot. I'm really not a huge screenshotter. I try, now that I've like talked about like commentary stuff, I try to remember that I should be screenshotting stuff, but I don't think it, like my mind doesn't go there. So I don't think to. So I missed like a lot of people who were like giving her, hey Mila, who were giving her criticism. The video was ridiculous. Evidently, yeah, I know, Bob and Carrie. Hey, Coley. So she put out a video and it was literally her targeting Creepshow and trying to pick apart how the video Creepshow did was in no way possible truthful. And where she primarily focused, which is what sent me over the edge, is the Sophie Long case. when she started talking about that and trying to defend and deflect her behavior, this is going to piss me off, guys. I'm just telling you. If you haven't seen me talk about the Sophie case before, I will provide a little bit of history on why what she has done pisses me off to the extreme it does. But she tried to lie. Which, what else is new? I think we all kind of anticipate that Katie's nothing but a fucking liar at this point. But she tried to lie about things that she said, and she tried to justify why she said things that she said, and was saying that context matters. My fucking ass, it mattered. Not in that situation, it didn't. You called her bratty. You called her a brat, and then you called her bratty. You cannot try and make any kind of form of context that makes it okay. You can't. You just cannot make up a scenario where calling a 9-year-old child is okay, because it's not, one. And two, this child was actively disclosing sexual abuse, which she chose to leave out of that fucking video, which is why I was so pissed when she talked about it in that video. Hey, Shell, she chose to say, I called a child brat. Like, she talked all the way around it. And then at the very end of this video that is now no longer viewable, she slightly addresses the fact that the child was disclosing something serious. I can't. Seriously, with this, I couldn't. I have to take my watch off. Otherwise, it's going to continue to go off and it's going to drive me nuts. I cannot handle the fact that she tried to bring that up, because in Creepshow's video and Shannon's video, she did not try to make a big deal about the fact that Katie called her a brat. Did she bring attention to it? Absolutely. She was showing the patterns of behavior. She wasn't expecting people to hone in, or for Katie to hone in on this one issue. This was one of the bigger issues that caused the community of Katie to become enraged. This is how she lost a lot of her subscribers, was because of how she chose to cover this case. I had people coming into my streams when I was discussing the Sophie Long case, literally saying in my chats that they had unsubscribed from Katie because of what she said and how she chose to cover that story, which she's a commentator. She can pick whatever opinion she wants to, but her blatant misuse of information was horrendous. It was disgusting behavior. And nobody was okay with how she was covering it. So, that just threw me over the edge, that she wanted to try and say that, oh, because of Creepshow, that this is trying to say Creepshow lied about it. There are multiple clips online that she says this in multiple different live streams. It is all over Twitter that she said it in Instagram Live, that she said it in Critical K's Live, or whatever that was. This isn't a normal thing. It wasn't something she could just explain away, and she tried to. And she tried to hide to maybe some of her audience who maybe not have been fully aware of what was going on with that case, and how she was trying to pinpoint it on Creepshow. She tried to make it seem like Creepshow was targeting her, and that Creepshow made up a whole bunch of information that wasn't true, which we all know is BS. So let me check the chat really quick. What is the KJ subreddit? So there's this website called Reddit, and you can, from my understanding, I don't really know how to operate it, but from my understanding, you go to reddit.com, or you go to your app store and you look Reddit, you download it, and then there is subreddits. Katie has her own subreddit where people who document her behavior, because this has been ongoing as long as she has been on YouTube, people are documenting, they screenshot her stuff, they record her stuff, they download her videos, because she does this. She says something and then she tries to delete it and hide the evidence. She did it with the Sanders Kennedy stuff, which she also tried to debunk that, which was absolute trash. She tried to just make it seem like, oh, her source was the insider or whatever. There's no freaking way, because she covered it the same night that Sanders had put out that video. She then got on and regurgitated the same information. Beauty Insider hadn't even put out their article when Katie did all of the shit she did that got her in hot water. And she tried to deflect it and make it Sanders Kennedy's fault. She had a part in that. She's just deleted all of the live streams and everything that could prove, which I'm sure people have copies of, but that could prove she did this, that she didn't have the Beauty Insider edition before she decided to go off. She saw a story and she wanted to be a part of it. She thought it was going to be this big breaking story, so she just ran with what Sanders said. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, she definitely is gaslighting, but it's beyond that at this point. She is in so much shit. I mean, literal shit at this point, in my opinion. You are being sued by another creator because you chose to ignore 4 fucking cease and desists, and you thought you were untouchable. You got a phone call from some inside source saying that Tati manipulated James Charles into making you take the stuff down, and then you chose to take it down. And then now that you get this anonymous phone call, you're going to put it all back up, make multiple videos pinpointing James Charles as kind of bullying you, which was a crock of shit, but whatever. Nobody's really called her out on that, I don't think, but she really did try to pinpoint everything on James. And then she would also at the same time say, but Tati tried to say she was afraid of Jeffree Star. But the behavior you were trying to condemn Tati for, you did the same thing with James Charles, saying that you felt you had to because he was asking you to. He was trying to be nice, like creator to creator, like, hey, you're going to get in trouble if you don't take this down. He was trying to be nice to her. But for some reason, she had to conspire. She literally conspired in her own mind. Something was going on. Because, you know, when we're looking at it now that all of this has played out, I don't see how she can like pinpoint and say that James Charles made her take her videos down, or she felt pressured to take her videos down because of James Charles. Maybe it was those 4 cease and desist she got, and she was trying to deflect it onto James because she had those screenshots, which in my opinion, she always had the plan to maybe try and do something with this moving forward. Why else would she keep all those screenshots? Or maybe she just has the messages still in her phone. I don't know. I'm not a person to keep all of my stuff like that. I don't think people are, I understand that creators can be out to get one another, but he was such a large creator and their conversation was like so mute that I wouldn't probably intentionally save a conversation like that. So anyways, this video, for those of you who may be new to my channel or haven't seen me here before or talk about the Sophie Long case before, I have previously worked in child welfare. So I have worked in positions that I've never clearly stated, but it is very obvious when you watch back and I give examples. I have dealt with children and talked to children who are being abused, who are being sexually molested. Their emotions are not going to be dictated by how you think they should be dictated. That was one of my major issues with her, and her trying to sit there on her fucking mighty high horse then and now, even though it's deleted, and say that the child was coached because she saw it in court documents. In what fucking world, please tell me, in what fucking world does it make sense that the courts would put the children with the father if he was of a danger to them? because that's the narrative she tried to push, and she's continued to try to push, even in that video she has now privated, that the amicus attorney, she can't say the word right, whatever, put in the court documents. What does that matter? Again, why did you go to the freaking links to get the court documents dealing with a freaking minor? Why? Why did you go that far? Because you were pissed off people didn't agree with what narrative you were trying to freaking push. So you were like, well, I'm going to get somebody to go get those court documents and I'm going to release them online. Because that's a great freaking idea. It worked out wonders for you when you did it with Tati. So let's do it to a 9-year-old and her family that is having issues when there was active stuff going on. I understand nobody's been arrested. I understand there's going to be more coming out about this story tomorrow. And I'm not trying to really cover the story, the case right now. I'm really just nitpicking at Katie's behavior and the fact that she re-brought this up. Why did she focus on that out of all of Shannon's video? Why was that the piece that she decided to hold on to? Why? She has gotten nothing but backlash over that, despite what she may say. And in my opinion, in relation to the Sophie case, she deserves all the freaking backlash she gets because she wanted to sit there and claim that this child was coached and that she was too sophisticated for her age. Fuck out of here with that. Seriously, if she were in front of me, I would have to walk away. It doesn't matter how old a child is. If you are abused and you experience trauma, you can learn things that you wouldn't think a typical 8, 9, however old she was at the time will say. I can tell you that from personal experience as a professional. I have heard some very young children say some things that you would not think you would ever hear out of their mouths because they're of their age. But because they have experienced abuse and neglect, they are more mature because they are traumatized. And she has potentially re-traumatized this child because of how she chose to discuss it. It is one thing to maybe have a difference of opinion, but you don't sit there and flat out say that the child was coached because she went to acting lessons. No child, no matter what kind of coaching or acting classes you're going to, is going to be able to depict the emotions that were in those videos. No way. No way. Nobody ever believed that. But Katie wanted to push that narrative that she was coached, that she was dealing with parent alienation. That is a potential, but that is not the place that somebody on YouTube should be trying to judge. It is one thing to cover a case because you're passionate about it, or you have experience with it, or you may be able to provide some insight with it. If you can't do that and you can't be somewhat objective, then you shouldn't cover a case that's as controversial as that was. I had people not liking what I was saying because I could seriously play the side of both parents because I have seen both sides professionally. I have worked cases with both sides. And I have talked about that in extensive length on other videos related to the Sophie case. So I'm not saying that Katie is totally in the wrong, that she may be supported an opposing opinion. Where she was wrong is that she didn't believe the child, and it was very evident she didn't believe the child. But she would want to rewind her words and step back and say, no, I believe the child. It's the dad I have an issue with. But then why are you saying the child is bratty? Why are you saying the child is coached? Why were those things ever said then? And then as soon as the backlash happened, Katie came out with her own story, which is fine. We all are people. We all have experienced trauma. Every single person in this chat at some point in your life have experienced something terrible. We all have. It's part of life. Does it fucking suck? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean we should project onto others. It doesn't mean that we should try to use our stories to get out of shit. Nobody had an issue with Katie wanting to be an advocate for herself and other women. People had an issue with her timing because she decided to tell her story when she was getting a lot of backlash because of how she covered the Sophie case. And in addition, when she did this video, she doxed an entire family of her alleged perpetrator. And I'm going to say alleged because nothing came of it. I'm not saying it didn't happen to her, but still, like I'm giving her that respect that she refused to give a freaking minor. Are you kidding me? Like, seriously, when I watched that video and she went in on this stuff and tried to make it seem like it was just some random kid on the internet that she said was bratty and tried to whisk it away, my blood was boiling. Like, to the point that if I had gotten on here, I probably would have been screaming at you guys because I was so frustrated. That case is hard for anybody to talk about. It ignites passion in anybody who cares about innocent kids, because that's what it's dealing with. The rate of divorce in separated households in the US is sky high. There is great opportunities that people in my chats, in her chats, in everybody's chat have had a divided household and knows how hard that is, let alone to maybe potentially be experiencing sexual abuse from a parent's significant other. And then you go to finally disclose it and you have it on film and people on the internet judging you. How are you okay with yourself? Honestly, how are you okay with yourself? And how are you so okay with yourself that you're going to continue to push that narrative to this fucking day? To this day, you are still wanting to push that narrative. But why? Like, why is she choosing to bring all of this up, to drudge all of this up? In my opinion, I think she's doing it on purpose at this point. I was concerned, like everybody else, that maybe there was something going on with her as far as stability. Maybe something was going on, like mentally, she was breaking under pressure. I really thought it was something like that. At this point, my honest opinion is I think she's doing this shit on purpose. She is wanting us to continue to talk about her. She is wanting us to continue to drag her because it gives her an excuse to continue to act the way she's acting. So I can promise you guys, there will not be another Katie video from me for at least a week. I'm going to let her shitty antics build up for a week. I will make sure I'm screenshotting, screen recording, anything I have to, but I am not going to give her the satisfaction of me putting any more time and effort into her because I'm fucking done. I'm not kidding you guys. I am so done. She does nothing but piss me off. And at this point, each time she says something, each time she posts a video, each time she does a fucking tweet, it does nothing but ignite fury in me. And I know it's doing the same to a lot of other people. If you guys want daily updates on Katie Joy and the shitty things she's doing, there are plenty of other channels for you guys to watch. My content has never been solely Katie content. It never will be solely Katie content. I have nothing against channels who are like that, but I'm telling you guys now, this is my last rant, at least for a week, on her. I'm done. Like, I'm done giving her the time on my channel. I'm not here to just talk shit about people. I don't like to do that. I know people enjoy hearing me rant because this is not my typical personality, and I get that. But at the same time, like, I'm so over it. I don't know why people are still so engulfed in it. We know what is happening, and we know now that her patterns are going to continue. She is going to continue to do shitty things so that we continue to judge her about it, so that she can then just delete it, so then she can put out a fake ass apology that is written by a fucking PR team. If nobody understands that those are not Katie Joy's words, you seriously need to take a step back and really analyze what you have ever seen from Katie Joy. Those are not her words. That's not how she talks. She misspeaks multiple times trying to read the document because it's not her form of talking. I hope you guys can understand that. The apology itself was nothing but shit. It is what everybody has wanted for how fucking long? She finally has either a PR team or she has somebody who is an attorney who has looked at everything and seen, like, you need to apologize for this shit or you're done, or you are literally done. In order to save the last few subscribers or however many it is that she still has, in order to save those subscribers from just dipping out on her, she needed to apologize for her shitty behavior, because I can promise you things are probably only going to get worse for her. There are more and more creators who have been watching this who are now coming out with videos. Tamimi came out with a video today. I don't know if any of you guys know of her channel, but she came out with a video in relation to this. I mean, there's people who could give a shit less about Katie, but because she has done shit to their friends, or she is trying to say their friends are doing stuff, they feel that they need to defend them and call Katie out. That is how bad it is. There is no freaking way that everybody in your community wouldn't like you unless you are the problem. You are the common denominator in every issue. Every issue you have, it comes to you. I have gone back. This has been going on. Most people know that this has been going on for forever. I finally watched Leslie Bass's video the other day that people were telling me to watch. That was like her first big drama, like public drama that I know of. I know there was like the Steve McRae shit. I don't know anything about that. I'm not going to get into that. There's too many layers of that. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not wasting my time on this bitch any longer. But as far as YouTube drama, the first one she did was with Leslie Bass. If you haven't watched her video, go watch her video, her live stream for from a day or two ago, because she shares some audio that is very telling of Katie's actual behavior, which we all have kind of seen, but this is it, like, out. She did some nasty fucking shit. And how she is able to get away with this stuff is she deletes it. She privates it. People are constantly coming to your channel. So the new people who are coming to her channel are not seeing the antics. They're just catching on either midway or halfway through, and Katie's able to convince them somehow that she is the victim in it, that it's woe is me, I didn't do anything wrong, I was misunderstood. There's no way I could have accidentally reported stuff wrong. There's no way I could have pushed my own narrative, when that's literally all she does. She pushes her own fucking narrative with everything she covers, even her reality TV stuff. It is her projecting her stereotypes onto them. She has an issue with fundies. It is very clear. Okay, whatever floats your boat, but she's still projecting. Her commentary is projection. I don't know why she has an issue with these people. Is it interesting? Yes, we had a conversation about it in a non-ranting stream just the other day. Religion is interesting. It's cool. Like, there's so many differences to it. I understand. But to continually drag and just project your own feelings and your own thoughts onto these people, why? It is one thing to provide commentary and like really try and like see what's going to happen and like work with your audience in that way. Like, this is what I think. Oh, what do you think? Rather than try and push it out to your audience that this is what's definitely going on because I would know. That is how I see her coverage on the Teen Mom stuff. She really effed up with Janelle a few months ago, and people kind of called her out, but she deleted her stuff, so everybody just let it go. But it is not appropriate for her to be, in my opinion, to be judging other parents, especially when she has tried to say for so long that her child and her parenting is off of limits. And yet again, I understand in her video, she is deflecting and manipulating the shit out of her audience by saying, oh, there's a lot of people wanting me to talk about my child because you put a damn thing on your Instagram for people to vote. Are you dumb? People saw it. Why? So you made it seem like, even in that apology, that people were asking you to talk about your parenting, which people have been asking you since the beginning to talk about your parenting. And you said, no, your kid's off limits when you started YouTube. And you really haven't talked about him very much or shown him. But the second all of this stuff started blowing up, you went on a live stream and you tried to coax your son into getting on live. However, I saw the mommy face that you made that said, no, not really. Don't really do it. I'm just doing it to appease the people, to make it seem like I'm trying to let you be a part of it now. Some of us can see through your smoke screen. Some of us can. Others will get there. They will get there eventually. Am I saying you're going to lose your whole audience? No, you're not going to. I'm not dumb. Anybody who is saying you're going to lose your whole audience, they're being dumb, because it's not going to happen. We have people like Jeffree Star who are literal pieces of garbage who have massive platforms. You're not going to lose your platform unless Tati Westbrook takes it from you. Then you will lose your platform. But that's up to her. That's up to them on what they do with this lawsuit. If I were them, that's what I would go after, because you're not going to stop doing this. And if they really, I understand their lawsuit is pertaining to them, and I don't know how the law works. This would probably be a question for Emily D. Baker, is can they request something like that because the potential harm she could cause to others, even though they're not, those other people may not be suing her. I wonder if that's something that they could do, because she has harmed people. She has. And there's no way, like Tati and James Westbrook are saying you have, and on behalf of their company, they're saying that she has. But think about how she handled the Sophie case, like I ranted on for a while. I'm sure some of the shit she said has damaged that father and his girlfriend. I don't know if I think they're common law married. His wife, those children, she's affected them. She's affected poor Sophie's life. Like, even if she's deleted stuff, people have it screen recorded, people have it shared. She made a ton of money. Not that I care. I'm not one who really is going to hold the monetization thing against her. I'm really not. But I'm just, if we want to continue to layer the shit cake, we can continue to layer the shit cake with Katie, because she's a shit person who does shit things, in my opinion. I haven't seen her do anything where I'm like, oh, okay, like that's pretty decent commentary reporting that you're doing there. Never have I said that. The only time I found her and I somewhat liked her content was over the Micah Stauffer stuff. And then I covered that myself. And then people were saying some of the information that Katie allegedly was getting was not information she got on her own. So I'm like, and there is documented proof on Twitter and on the subreddit that Katie has a history of plagiarizing her videos on the Duggars and stuff like that. So does she seriously like lack creativity that much that she can't think up of her own content or her own commentary? Is she that bland of a person? I'm not trying to be mean. That's a serious question. Like, is she that bland that she can't come up with her own commentary? And when she does come up with her own commentary, why is she always seeming to fall on the side that would be more controversial? Is it intentional? Like, I'm seriously asking, is it intentional? Does she intentionally go for the side that she knows is going to cause an issue because she knows it's going to bring in more views, and she knows it's going to eventually cause other people to be upset and want to talk about her, which, is a snowball effect. Like, honestly, I'm not saying she's stupid. Does it seem like the way she acts, she's stupid? Yeah, but she really could be that smart, that business savvy as far as like YouTube goes, that she's just going to do it to continue getting her name out there to continue the traffic coming, because as many people as she's pissing off, she's got the same amount of people, if not more people, curious because they're hearing this shit about her and they want to see for themselves. So they go and watch something monotonous and they're like, oh, you're not bad, because they don't know. They haven't seen her do something shitty. And then they see her do something shitty, and then they come to any other creator who's given her criticism and is like, oh yeah, I just left her. I just unsubbed because what she just did, man, whoa. And we're like, yeah, we've been telling you this for how many months now that this has been going on? I mean, I'm really not trying to be like just downright rude, but that's how sick of all of this I am. I'm sick of it all. Her apology today, while some people I understand want to say that they want to give her the benefit of the doubt, don't. Like, really think about it. Think about it for a second. And I'm not trying to be mean. Make up your own mind. I shouldn't tell you how you should think. I typically don't do that. Really, just if you take a step back for 2 seconds and you look at her channel, she did an apology video or an apology-like video 2 days ago. And I'm pretty sure she did one a few more days prior to that. Because what she is doing is she has started this cycle. She has started this cycle that since this lawsuit has come out, it's gotten worse because she's getting so much heat that she has to constantly think of a new way to maybe try and get herself out of it and garner sympathy. A lot of it is sympathy gathering, in my opinion, because I don't know why else all of a sudden she wants to talk about her child and her parenting and make it seem like people brought this up to her. But in reality, what she did was she put a poll on her Instagram, and people have genuinely been curious about what it's like for her as a parent. Understandably so. It would be educational information. However, why are you just now trying to talk about it, trying to push that out on your channel? When all of this broke, you tried to spew this garbage that you had created your channel to be an advocacy channel and to provide, a place, a safe haven. Your channel, in my opinion, is the grounds of this toxic environment. You want to blame everybody else. You want to blame anybody who's giving you criticism. You want to label them as trolls, even though I'm not a troll. I can promise you I'm not a troll, but I provide you criticism, so I'm sure I fall within a troll category. I support Little Red, so that I'm automatically a part of her troll army because I support her, even though she's not a troll. She's not done half the shit you said she did. But you don't defame people. Everybody defames you, even though when people are talking about you, they are showing literal facts, literal evidence out of your own damn mouth, out of things you have literally tweeted on your own phone. But everybody else who is willing to show that is the ones defaming you. As you were saying, make it make sense, Katie. Make it make sense to us, because it makes no sense whatsoever. I can't even try to make that cohesive in any sense of the form. I am interested to see if you actually follow through with everything you said in your apology video today, because you did say in the video you posted 2 days before you were going to pull back on your live streaming, and then you just had to live stream for your birthday. Were you live streaming because you wanted the super chats from people? Did you get super chats because it was your birthday? Did you want the views? I mean, why can't you just be honest with people? If you're going on live because you want the super chats, have that conversation. And what I want to say, and this is my opinion, and I may be reaching here, but if you go back and you watch that video when she starts talking about how she's not going to live stream anymore, there is a jump cut. And I'm pretty sure, like, if you really listen, I think she was going to say that she will be going live on her other channel, but I think she caught herself, or they decided to cut that out. But it seems like the way that it was, that maybe she was going to be a jump cut. Like she had said something, and it's very obvious in the edit that she was still talking. So I wonder if she was trying to say, oh, but I might, or I might do it on my other channel, because the whole thing about the live streaming she was trying to push in this story, or this apology, I'm sorry, and this apology was the fact that her live streams didn't go with her content on that channel. They never have. And I've never seen anybody complain. And even if you look into the comment section of that video, there are people commenting that they enjoyed those live streams to have that interaction with her, and that they're going to miss it, and that they enjoyed that, even though it had nothing to do with the content that she was putting out. Even though half of the time when she went live on her channel, she would talk about something related to her content. I mean, it was typically stuff like, oh, like I got this phone call, or I got this DM. Like that would always be the starter of the conversation, and then it would tail off into something else. But it was still somewhat related to her content. So I don't know why she's trying to push that all of a sudden. Maybe to give an excuse to anybody who shows up to her channel. I know she had deactivated, or whatever she's going to say, her Twitter after that video that she went live. And like part of me was just like super frustrated, in addition to everything I've talked about, is because she had said in the video prior that a YouTuber she trusted was going to be coming out with all of the evidence, and then she's the one who released a video. Not that she provided any evidence. Well, I mean, she thinks she did. That's the video that she deleted. But like, was she referring to herself that she's the only one that she trusts? I know allegedly Unirock is in the process of making a video, from what I've seen. I don't know, because I don't watch Unirock. I don't follow him. He's also garbage, in my opinion. I've talked about how I don't like him on multiple times before this. I think his behavior online, aside from his support to Katie and how they operate, is weird. I don't like his sidekick. That throws me off. Why are you pushing that a piece of bread smokes crack? That's weird. That's weird. How did you come up with that character? Like, that's just super weird to me. I can't get into that. And that seems to be a focal point for parts of his streams, and I can't. I'm sorry, maybe I'm too mature, maybe I'm more mature than him, maybe this is a maturity issue here. I'm not sure. I can't deal with that shit. I can't. I'm just over the both of them. I mean, it would have to be something super major for me to even want to come back and talk about before a week. And that's even if anything happens of importance in this next week. I have plenty of other content. I have other commentary. I'm always open to you guys' suggestions. If there's anyone else, if you guys enjoy me just getting on here and really speaking my mind and like reading people, I don't mind to maybe do this for you guys as like regular content. As long as it's people that I can literally like look into and see if they deserve me to sit here and like tear them to pieces, in my opinion. So guys, that's really where I'm at with Katie. You have seen, and I know I'm reading the chat super late, so if you guys have said anything to me that you wanted me to read, I'm not typically the one to say put it in again, but now I'm going to focus on you guys and what you guys are saying. Candace says he's so boring, he literally takes 8 hours to say one complete sentence. I agree. And like, I was sitting there applauding Shannon for how she wouldn't let him just get away with stuff. Like, she would ask him a question, he'd make his statement, it wouldn't make sense. She would confront him with it not making sense, and then he would change his whole entire statement to be in agreement with her. And she would sit there and she'd call him out for it, and I lived for it. You heard the Periscope today. He said he wouldn't be seeing KJ for a couple of days. Do they actually see each other in person? Or am I misunderstanding that? You haven't seen Yes, I have. Pippi Longstocking. Elizabeth, he's not making a video. I don't know. Apparently, maybe it's back and forth. Sheila, I was saying how I called it like 4 days ago on one of the BX videos, about how she was going to use her son. I said it like a week ago. I think people who have seen her behavior and can pinpoint human behavior saw this being a tactic she was going to use. She monetizes everything. Some of the topics about the Duggars are so disgusting, but she makes money about the abuse the Duggar women went through. I don't follow the Duggars. I mean, I know their general like stuff and that they're on reality TV, but I don't follow them enough to really provide how she's done them wrong. I have seen where other people are saying what she has alleged the dad to have done, which I've talked about briefly just because of my work experience. She's not necessarily wrong in the fact that when children act out sexually in poor manners, it is typically because they have been the survivor themselves. However, that does not give her the right to just assume that it was the father who was doing that. Like that's really bad. You can't make assumptions like that, especially with a platform of her size. That's just it's irresponsible. She wants to say that Shannon is irresponsible because of how she decided to let her audience know that Katie's a piece of crap. I think it's irresponsible that you are telling your audience that this man could potentially be something, you're accusing him of something really harsh. She's predictable. At this point, she is. Good night, Nick and Steph. You think Uni put out a video today? It's very sad because she uses her son as a shield to deflect criticism. I have noticed that. Like I've always kind of seen that the way she allows people to talk about him at times and then retracts it at other times has been weird. I never really understood. I think a lot of it is she just doesn't want judgment from her audience because I'm sure her life is difficult. I've talked about that. Hey, Kelly, like, I'm sure it's challenging for her. I'm sure it's challenging for her husband. Nobody has doubted that it's not hard and that you don't have hardships. People judge because you choose not to let them see that life. Instead, you choose to let them see that you're online 24/7, and people are going to make assumptions on their own. In addition to the fact that you're constantly lying. Everything she says can almost be debunked. She doesn't think she also lives through all of this, and I think is making her feel important. I think it's also feeding into her as well, which is why I'm kind of taking the stance now that I'm not going to talk about her unless something major happens. Even if she pisses me off tonight, tomorrow, I'm not going to talk about her tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday unless something crazy happens. I'm kind of going to just start watching and just keeping everything collected. That way, when I feel there's enough or it's gotten to a boiling point, then I will probably come on here and have another conversation with you guys. That doesn't mean I'm not going to go live. I'm still going to go live about other stuff, but did you see what she said in Uni's chat last night? She said Creepshow was mad at her for some reason and she didn't know why. Maybe it was because Creepshow couldn't take the criticism. Are you fucking kidding me? Did she seriously put that in a stream? Again, like, I'm going to continue to preach this. She lacks self-awareness. She needs to be ignored. I'm agreeing with you, Teresa. I think I know that there for a while Little Red was able to enact like some people not watching her who have maybe been watching her to kind of stop. Maybe we should do that again and also enact the fact that nobody will provide commentary about her. Yeah, Maria, Creepshow doesn't care about her. Creepshow doesn't. Creepshow called her out, called her on her bullshit, and has moved on. Katie just is trying to continue that fire going because Creepshow stood up for herself, which I don't think Katie 100% saw coming. But unlike Katie, Creepshow is a very strong, independent woman who is going to defend herself, whereas Katie has to run to uni to have him fully defend her, which is telling of her character. Yeah, I would assume Augie still had it up on his stream. She has no idea how to take criticism. Absolutely, she doesn't. I saw that, Jessica, that Deaf Noodles did a video about her. He's done a couple. He's done like some of his little tweet things about her. And I think he's talked about her in a video. I know at least once, maybe twice. Lynn, a lot of people are under that belief as well. I think so too, Jessica. I think if Unirock continues to, hey, Double Mint, hey, Gabby, I think if Uni continues to go down this path and continues to call everybody else a liar, including the attorneys, because he was in full agreement with her, the one live stream, then I don't see how he maybe won't end up being a part of it. I would hate that for him, but it would show how irresponsible Katie is and the fact that she's willing to have other creators dragged in to her bullshit because she can't handle it on her own. She always wanted to be noticed by Deaf Noodles. Yeah, well, I mean, she has been now. I don't think this is how she wanted it, but hey, Miss Mo, I'm glad you're here. I'm the third YouTuber today on live talking about her. Yeah, there's several channels who have always kind of provided criticism to her, but now that some larger creators are also unveiling her, she is higher in search. So those of us who have hey John, those of us who have already provided commentary, people assume that we're just trying to jump on the bandwagon, and that's not the case. So there's a lot of us who are starting to get different people in the live than what they typically would, just because her name is searchable right now, which I'm sure she's absolutely loving. Adam McIntyre did a video on her too. I've heard of him. I've never watched his content. Isn't he like a commentary channel? Has he been in controversies himself? Not that that excludes you from being able to talk about anything. I'm just curious. She just needs to get off the internet for a while. Yeah, I think so too, Casey. She really should just take a break. Or I said in my other live, and I'm going to hold to it in this one, she needs to stop live streaming because she cannot not react. And she did acknowledge that in her apology. However, I don't think she agrees with that. I think she was only saying it because she was told to say it. I think that that's my personal feelings about this whole apology she put out, is that she was only saying it because she was told to, not because she wanted to, and not because those are things she believes. If you really watch the video, her voice fluctuates multiple times. Not that I'm a behavioral person, I'm not, but I can read people, and her voice changes in pitch and in fluctuation, and it's very not her language. There's just too many weird things. Okay, Kim, have a good bite to eat. Okay, Mariah, I've heard about him. I've never watched his content. For some reason, he's never been in my recommendeds. I think her legal told her to stop live streaming. I would guarantee they did, because that's where she was causing the most issues for herself. Feeling kind of breezy. No, Katie, I didn't take it as a bad way at all. I was just saying, like, for the general public, I've never had over like 60 people in a live stream before. So this is very different from me. I appreciate everybody who's here or anybody who gives a shit about what I have to say. But I mean, it's different and I'm adjusting to it as well as I'm sure other people are. But it's because her name's hitting the algorithm. I appreciate everybody who's here, whether you're subscribed or not, you're new to my channel or not. I appreciate everybody. It helps engage in the conversation. It helps keep the conversation and providing different opinions. We get a little bit of everything the more people that are involved. Hey, Llama Girl, don't worry about being late. Yeah, the apology today was well written, but that's the thing, like, it was well written. It doesn't mean they're her words. It doesn't mean she's going to hold herself to them. And, you know, what I find ironic is the other few scripted videos she's done, she didn't acknowledge it in the first one. And then the second one, it was so blatantly obvious that she called her own self out the second time. She was like, I'm reading off of a script because I really want it. And this time, again, she didn't acknowledge it, which is fine. She doesn't have to. I don't understand. And I think another creator, I can't remember who, said that maybe she should have rearranged her filming setup so that it wouldn't be so obvious that she was reading stuff. She was obviously reading it from a screen. So she obviously has a screen or something close to her camera. If she had just pulled it over, so it wouldn't have been so obvious, I think people wouldn't give her such harsh judgment. But at the same time, she is being called out for all of her crappy behaviors right now. You live for the lawsuit breakdown on Emily D. Baker. Yeah, I think everybody does. She really is providing good context to law stuff. It was so damn glitchy. What was glitchy, Carrie? I think she only did it because of her lawyer and it wasn't her words. Absolutely. Hey, Justin, it was not her words at all. She's never talked like that before. That's not her way of speaking. She said subscribers at one point because she's reading something. It's not genuine. It's not authentic. She's reading it, and it's not. If it was in her language or how she speaks, I would understand maybe writing it to just get everything you want out. But we all know that it's not. She acknowledges in that she has an attorney in Washington. So I think whatever attorney she hired on, whether that attorney is working with Aaron Hall, whether she has both of them, I think that attorney has taken a look at everything and been like, you've been doing some things that aren't in the best light for you. Let's work on maybe trying to fix your reputation as we move forward behind the scenes. Also, her timeline, if we really want to be like super nitpicky here, didn't she put out a tweet, which I'm sure is, I mean, we can't even access her tweets unless you screenshotted it. Didn't she put out some kind of tweet that said, oh, me and my attorneys are, doing our countersuit tomorrow? Well, obviously they didn't, because today in that apology at the very end, she says, I'll keep you updated as things move forward. So obviously she hasn't. Both of her apology videos were so glitchy. Yeah, they had a lot of jump cuts in them. Yeah, Maria, she did tweet that. I know she did. I just can't remember when she did it. But, it just, again, goes to show she's full of lies. Like, she tries to say these things to get the heat off of her, but it's really just making people watch her more. And she did acknowledge that all of her behaviors are being watched and scrutinized. They have been. This is not a new thing. The only reason she's acknowledging it now is because she has large platformed creators calling her out and actually supporting and backing up what a lot of the smaller creators in this community have been saying. We're just smaller creators who haven't hit an algorithm or whatever to have our videos go out to the general public. They have remained unseen for a while, and now we are finally getting the opportunity to have people see our opinions and see that we haven't been trolling her, that we have only been providing her criticism. People can see that. Tati's attorneys can see that. And just as much as Tati's attorneys can observe that behavior, so can Katie's attorneys. It goes both ways. Yeah, several people. I know. I tweeted her. I didn't tweet her. I screenshotted her rant yesterday because I knew I was going to talk about it when I went live. Yeah, the more you watch, the more you see. Definitely. Hey, Chris. Some of the things you've been learning about her are insane. I know. It's just. But the funny, I don't want to say it's funny, but what's like so surprising is the fact that there is legitimate proof for what everybody criticizes her for in this alleged troll people. Like they have legitimate proof. They have it either in video format or they have it in text format, but she wants to say that we're lying and we're pushing a narrative. But there's legitimate evidence to back it up. How can you say all of these people are lying when they're literally your words? They're literally your videos. And you want to sit here and preach that context matters. I saw her comment on somebody saying that context matters. It got deleted. But she was like, context matters, sweetie. And I was like, not when you call a child a brat and not when you choose to exclude why the child was so emotionally distraught. She calls it cherry picking. I mean, maybe that's one word for it. I mean, she's just all over the place. Hey, Kit, she needs to stop talking and help herself. I agree, she does. Hey, Janessa, I think she would, if she holds true and like stops talking, it's going to benefit her. I'm an ex-sub. Ironically, I only discovered her because she was slagging on Tati in Guru Gossip, or you unsubbed when she held watch parties to make fun of women doing her hair and makeup. When did she do that? Somehow I have not known she's ever done that. Hey, Lynn, it's like when you find one crack in her personality, it all falls apart. I found one thing she said was suspicious, and then you searched. Absolutely. Because she's so, it's kind of scary. She's so good at like covering her tracks and manipulating people that you don't know until you go looking. She has managed to fly under the radar. Although there has been people like myself who have been providing her criticism for a while, we're smaller channels. And I'm not complaining about that. Please, nobody take that as a bad way. But we're smaller channels. So people weren't seeing us. People weren't seeing that we were trying to warn the general public, hey, like she does things that are questionable. Just keep an eye out. Like that was all of the content I made on her. I have videos from like June where I call her out for providing misinformation and misleading information about a very serious topic like adoption. That's what it was. She was trying to unveil or expose a Facebook group as a child trafficking page, which it happens. Sorry, guys, if you didn't know that. It happens. But she used inappropriate language. Like she was using terms that didn't make sense. She was using power of attorney in lieu of guardianship and in lieu of parental rights. She's a freaking moron. Don't say these things because she is misleading her audience of 130,000 people. I am somebody who was adopted. I am somebody who has worked in child welfare. I am a social worker. I have an issue with you providing misinformation to 130,000 people about issues that people are not generally educated about these issues. So I have problems when you're going to preach to your audience terms that you are using incorrectly or that you are not correcting yourself for. I have a problem with that. Casey, I've heard she's monetizing her videos. I have premium, so I don't know. Hey, Gaming Granny. It was Jill Rodriguez she tore down and drug. I didn't know about that. Somehow I didn't. Hey, Barbara, she's loving this. Look how everyone is talking about her. I know she is. She's eating it up, and we're only playing into her game. That's why tonight I'm Like, this is it for a while. Unless something massive happens to where I feel that I have to talk about it, I'm not going to go live and talk about her. I'm still going to go live. I'm still going to continue to do commentary, but I'm not going to jump every other day to provide my opinion on what's going on. Hey, Miss Nay. It sounded like a PR firm or her lawyer did some research. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. Definitely. Those were not her words or terminology. Hey, JK Mac. KJ's a narcissist and will never change her behavior. I mean, we'll see. A lot of people agree with that sentiment. I'm not saying I don't, but we'll see. Like, we'll see if she actually holds to it and doesn't go live or doesn't pop off on somebody. Hey, Kez, one of the most ethically and morally bankrupt you've ever come across. She knows no bounds. We should all just ignore her. I agree. And I'm kind of in that mindset now. Hey, Tara Lee. It's only 1:30 p.m. where you're at. You just subbed. I can thank Katie for finding new creators. Well, I appreciate anybody who has subscribed to my channel from finding me over these last couple of days. I really appreciate all of you. If you have other content, I have a lot of different kind of content on my channel. I don't stick to really one thing, but if you have any suggestions of content you want from me, I'm always open to hear what you guys want. She's just hoping all of this will disappear and she hopes, like, that in her ideal world, that would happen. In her ideal world, I think it would be no one talked about it. Everybody just let it go. But what she doesn't understand is she very easily could have had that ideal world where nobody talked about it, but she chose to drag it all out. She started it. She really did start it for herself. Hey, Kathy. It's interesting to watch. It's very odd. It is very odd. Hey, Brian. She has the right to remain silent, but not the ability. That she's showing that she doesn't have the ability. I mean, that's continually to, happen over and over and over again for the past week. It's like every other day, I'm going to drag everybody. I'm going to say I'm going to sue everybody who's talked about me. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean that. I'm not really going to sue you. And then it's a cycle. It starts back over. It's like every day. I do like true crime, Angela. I like it more as a viewer of like TV true crime, like ID, than like commentary true crime. Though I think she would downward spiral if she didn't have her channel anymore. But that's not on us. That's not on us. If she has put herself in this situation, it's not on her subscribers to continue to support her. Just like it's never been on her subscribers to pay for anything or to super chat just to get acknowledged. Like, that's a problem to me. That's problematic behavior. And that's behavior that, even though these larger channels, it's petty, so I understand why these larger channels aren't calling it out, but she treats her subscribers like dog shit. She gets super chats, and if it's something she doesn't want to answer, she won't, and she will say, oh, thanks for your super chat, and then blocks them. What kind of creator thinks that that's not a negative environment? Like, that is her fostering a negative environment. She's created that on her own. No one else created that for her. She is the root of everything. If she wasn't such a terrible person, in my opinion, she wouldn't have all of these ex mods and ex subscribers who want to prove to everybody else that she is said piece of trash. I mean, she's the origin of all of it. And we're all like in our own world. None of us really think that we're terrible people. Even if you're a terrible person, you don't think you're a terrible person, right? But I've never seen her really do anything nice. I understand that she has donated money to an organization before. I think the only reason she has done those donations is because she's gotten backlash from her legitimate subscribers and she's scared to lose them, as she should be. Hey, Sammy Joe. Yeah, I mean, her view counts have been all over the place now that all of this has come out. She wants to try and blame somebody tweeted somewhere where she like tried to blame Trump, which initially she did try to say she was losing subscribers because she talked about the election. I mean, yeah, could she have potentially lost subscribers because she chose to talk about politics? She could have, because she had made a stance like a week or two before the election. People were trying to talk about it, and she was like, no, we don't talk about politics here, but I'm sure you can assume who I'm voting for. And then she would like do these subtleties to like push stuff that she wanted people to think, but she wouldn't actually come out and say because she knew it would be controversial. So she wouldn't. And when people did, she got upset. And then because she got herself in shit, she decided to talk about something she knew was going to be controversial to blame it on. I mean, people who cannot like step back and see these like correlations is surprising to me, especially now that there are so many videos from not only small creators, but large creators pointing out her behavior. The fact that she has subscribers just blowing smoke up her butt is surprising to me. I'm not saying she shouldn't have support, but people should be like, I support you, but maybe you should rethink your strategy here. Or it could be that she's just nasty. I mean, she has been nasty to people. Hey, Zeke, she just disabled the comments. Of course she did. Of course she did. I mean, she can't, she says that she wants to change. She says she wants to take people's criticism into account. She says this, that, and the other. And then there's no follow through. I understand she's probably getting hate. I'm not going to lie. I know she's getting hate. And it's not necessarily from the people she thinks it's from. She has large fucking people on this platform with like double the subscribers of hers, if not more, talking about her, making videos about her crappy behavior, calling her out on it. Even if they say don't send anybody hate, we all know that subconsciously there's going to be a few people who are still going to go to her channel and leave her something mean and call her names. Some people are on the internet to just be disgusting people. I mean, that's the reality of being on the internet. So I'm sure she's getting hate. Those are the comments where you should be deleting. Those are the comments where you should have it filtered out to be hidden and need approval. Why are you not taking those precautions? Or maybe she is, and she really just can't stand people giving her that much criticism and disagreeing with her that she can't read it, so she deletes it. I just don't understand why creators, if you can't handle reading through your comment section, to have somebody else do it. Have a friend do it. Have a husband or a wife do it. If you have an old enough child, have your adult child do it. I mean, there's so many ways that if you can't handle seeing anything bad about yourself, you don't have to. I had my husband, when I went through a stupid drama like a month and a half ago, which is really ridiculous looking back that it ever even happened. But I had people leaving me pretty nasty comments, and I had my husband go through them. I said, if they're just criticizing me and how I handled the situation, leave it. I don't care about that. But if they're being nasty to me where it's not pertaining to the situation, then just hide it. And, you know, surprisingly, he didn't have to do that to many. But I still don't get why there's creators out here who allow the negativity to take over, because you really end up allowing it to happen. Either hire somebody, or you have to at least have one person in your life that would be willing to do that for you. What we see on YouTube is not the real KJ. The real KJ is what we see in the IG lives, like the video with her and her husband making fun of her subs. Yeah, I've talked about that before, Janessa. I've seen only a few of her IG lives and not with her husband. But what I did see was a clip going around where her husband's, I'm not going to say the word just because I don't want to offend anybody here, said the "see you next Tuesday" word. to the subscribers. And then you could very much tell in that clip that that's how their relationship is. It's very immature. It's very, let's be mean girls together. That's what I got from that clip. I've talked about that before. That's not my first time saying anything like that. I mean, that's very much the relationship that they have, in my opinion, or at least from that clip, that's how it appears. And, you know, we've seen bits and pieces about Todd getting frustrated with Katie and like being a little bit aggressive with her, and how in his tone, I don't necessarily hold that against him. And I know there's been people who have tried to like push some kind of assumption, and I don't want that happening in my comment sections because it's not our place. But as far as like how they interact, they're so immature. They are so immature. And she was comfortable with sitting there in that one video, which she hates to be brought up, where she talks about when she's old that she I don't want to misquote it, but it's on the Reddit, it's on Twitter at places, where when she's old, she thinks that she has earned the right to sexually harass younger kids or younger boys, something like that. That's not a quote, it's something to that effect. She says that to her husband and they laugh about it. Like, he didn't even acknowledge that that was probably not appropriate for her to say. And he said things online in clips that I've seen where she's actually been like, oh no, don't say that. And it's definitely an act. Like, you can tell that's how they talk with each other outside of the YouTube. Yeah, it was gross. A lot of you guys have seen it. I mean, and that just goes to talk to her behavior. Am I going to sit here and say that I can't be petty and I can't bitch about shit to my husband? I do. I definitely do. Especially when stuff like asinine like this happens. I will go to my husband. I'll be like, you can't believe the shit this bitch just said. And I don't mean like just in relation to Katie, even though most of the time I am referring to her when I say stuff like that. But my husband's like not really into this stuff. He's not on YouTube. He watches YouTube for other reasons. He's very much like into gaming. He's into drones, into RC cars, into his truck. So he watches videos like that. And he knows about my channel, obviously, and he supports me, and he's checked in when I've been on live for a while just to see where I'm at, but he never knows what I'm talking about. And then I have to give him the whole rundown. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he doesn't even give me any context. And I'm like, okay. She thought it would bring her views up and it blew up in her face. Yeah. It's the same with you and your husband. My husband doesn't even watch YouTube unless he's learning how to do something. I mean, my husband will watch YouTube as far as like just to entertain himself, but he doesn't watch I don't want to say obviously, but he doesn't watch drama stuff. And most of the KJ disliked this live. That's okay. I don't care who liked it or disliked it. I appreciate anybody who's willing to give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, because it's all engagement. Whether she tries to be funny, it goes horribly wrong for her. Yeah, I've noticed she really doesn't have a sense of humor, or from what it seems like, but she tries to portray herself as having a sense of humor. And I think that's really just her trying to be personable. Like, I'm not trying to be mean here, but I think the way that Katie like comes off online, a lot of it I think is an act. I think she is trying to be what she thinks her audience wants. If she's mean, then just be yourself. Like, people get tired of the fake facade that creators put up. It doesn't end up working out for them in the long term, because you can only continue to fake stuff for so long. She tries to be quirky and cool, but it's a huge miss. Yeah. Trying to be personable, it's truly hard for her. I don't know. I agree. Like she definitely, I think she is trying to be somebody that she's not. And some people, when they start a YouTube or they start social media, they want to project their best being. I mean, you can even see that in my original videos from May. You can see I'm very different in talking to the camera and how I film. I mean, not just because I've gotten equipment to help me film and stuff, more just because I have become comfortable being on a camera. My pre-recorded videos, like my videos that I record, even those are still awkward. And I'm still working through that process. But as far as live streams go, like me talking to you guys, this is who I am. I'm not a creator who thinks I need to fake anything or I need to make anything up. I tell you guys how I feel about whatever we're talking about. I tell you guys about myself. I tell on myself a lot. Like I'm very transparent with you guys because I just want to be a genuine person. And, I hope people can see that. And if they like my content, great. I mean, my channel doesn't even make sense. If you go to my channel, especially if you go to my playlists, I have playlists that are so random that people don't even know I have because most people are here for commentary, which is fine. But I'm going to continue to create my makeup videos. I'm going to continue to create my nail videos, even though I'm kind of crappy at it. I'm going to continue to do my open discussions where we talk about real serious world issues and give each other a safe place to vent or to say our experience or to get advice or to get resources. I'm going to continue to do those things. I'm going to continue to talk about adoption and growing up in foster care because it's important. Because unlike Katie, I did start this channel off of wanting to be an advocate. I started this channel to tell my story and to help others feel comfortable in telling their story and to be true to who they are. A lot of people don't know that about my channel, and that's fine. Because you're going to watch what you want to watch. That's why I don't push people to watch. That's why I'm not a creator who's like, go watch this playlist. Go do this. Super chat me. Do this, do that, because that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to build a healthy, happy community where we can talk about whatever we want and not feel judged. Talk about whatever we want. And if we have a bad day, be able to say it and not feel like people are going to just assume that you're trying to get attention. If we see some shitty behavior online and we want to vent about it, like tonight, this is a safe place where even if you are a Katie supporter, that you can be here. As you guys can tell, like I don't have people in my chats to delete stuff. I don't have people monitoring everything going on because I don't want to have people come here and feel like that they can't say what they want to, because that's not what I'm trying to build. Thank you, Brooke. I appreciate it. Teach you? I can teach you really, really quick. You want to know what I use? Because believe it or not, I always get compliments when I do my eyeliner like this, but believe it or not, I am actually terrible at doing my eyeliner. What I use is I use the I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills, their gel eyeliner. This is in Jet. You can use any gel liner. I prefer ones that are a little bit thicker and more whipped. And then I use just an eyebrow brush, and I literally find the edge of my bottom line and I stamp it, and then I connect it and I drag it in. That's all I do when I do my winged eyeliner. Because if I try to do it with a felt tip or a pencil, they're going to be like this. I can't, I'm not good at eyeliner. Hey, Emily, how are you? It's awesome to have others to talk to about things. You adopted your daughter, and it was hard for others to understand. She was your, oh, That's wonderful, Candace. See, there are people who have joined my channel for my other content. Thank you, John. I appreciate all of the. Yeah, so what I do, I should clarify, after I do the gel, I do take like a different one, I have like 5 of these. I take a different one with just black eyeshadow and I stamp over it. Otherwise it transfers up because my eyelids are hooded. So if I open my eyes all the way and I'm looking like straight on, it transfers up if I don't set it with some eyeshadow. Hey, Maria. Well, thank you guys who have, been watching for a while. I appreciate all of you guys. And if, like I've always offered, if there's topics I haven't covered or people or drama I haven't covered and you guys want to know my take on it, if you let me know, you can always DM me or reach out to me. My Twitter and my Instagram are Mandapants or Mandapants Does Life. I'll talk to you guys. If you ever have any, just need somebody to talk to, like feel free to reach out to me. Whenever I do my open discussions, I always make sure that you guys know I'm available. If you haven't attended those, they can be triggering depending on the topic. We'll be doing an open discussion tomorrow night, actually. Do you watch Mysterious Tea on YouTube? If not, you should check out her videos. Very informative on a few people. Yeah, I know who Mysterious Tea is. Yeah, there's more people who are adopted than I think others understand. But that's also a lot of why I will continue to advocate and talk about adoption, whether it's in relation to YouTube stuff or just my own personal life or personal experiences, because it's not something the general public is educated about. Almost everybody knows about adoption, but that's it. They just know what the term is and they know the general idea of what a traditional adoption is. And even that, I could probably ask everybody in this chat to describe to me what you think adoption is, and we will get different answers. And that's because there is a serious lack of education. It's great to be a guy and not have to bother doing eyeliner. Yeah, I don't typically wear eyeliner. I either wear eyeshadow and just mascara, or I will do eyeliner without any eyeshadow. It's very rare that I do eyeshadow and like dramatic eyeliner like this. Oh, thank you, Brooke. I appreciate that. I try to engage with everybody as much as I can. You're adopted by your dad. That sounds interesting. Yeah, Carrie, I have other content. If you're newer to my channel, I have a playlist where I actually tell my story through foster care. Then I have a playlist where I tell my story through adoption. Then I have a playlist of the open discussion lives that we do. And then I have a playlist of just makeup stuff or beauty stuff. I can't remember if my nail videos are tied into that. I'm still in the process of organizing all of my content out for you guys, but I do so much different content. I also have recently started a second channel for just crafting because I run a crafting business with my sister-in-law now as of this past weekend. I announced that. You use just eyeshadow instead of liner now. I'm not talented enough to be able to just use eyeshadow for my eyeliner. You were a foster child. You had no idea I was a social worker. Yes, I have my bachelor's in social work. Every career I've had since having my degree is in the social work field. My first 3 years was in child welfare, and this last year has been I work with the courts to a degree. Oh, I'm happy you found us, Carrie. Yeah, several people have found upon actually. Thank you so much, Melly Lynn. I appreciate that. You are awesome. All of you guys are awesome. Well, if you ever need anybody to just talk to or anything like that, feel free to always reach out to me. It may take me a day or two because I do work a full-time job, but I will respond to you guys. Well, thank you, KG. I appreciate anybody who's here. And again, I don't push people to subscribe. I appreciate people who do subscribe and who do engage in like the live chats and the live streams and my videos. I appreciate all of that. I'm crafty in multiple ways. Yeah. I have, those are like my YouTube and my crafting stuff are my hobbies. Other than my dogs and my husband, which I know a lot of you guys wanted a dog video. I'm going to try. I don't know how successful I will be. All hail social workers. We have had some bad ones. Absolutely. Social workers get a bad rap because the people who mess up. Sloan, are you serious? I feel like you're just, I've super chatted you before, so it's like we're just exchanging the money here. Is that what's going on? Oh, you guys are so sweet. It's crazy. I don't even know how to really feel about it because I don't typically have people super chat me. So I'm like, hopefully my blushing isn't coming through on camera. Sloan is the shit. He's the bee's knees. If you guys, I'm sure most of you know who he is, but if you don't, he has some awesome commentary. He's a little cutthroat at times. I wish I had the balls to do all the topics he does. I honestly have no idea how he can keep up with all of his content. I worked on my side project of getting the business up and running with my sister to have everything here, and I couldn't record. And right now I have like 3 videos recorded, but they're all on my SD drive. Yeah, you guys can always feel free to reach out to me in DMs. Like I said, I might not respond right away, but I will get back to you guys eventually. I do, especially for all of my new watchers or people who are newly subscribed. I do work a full-time job. I work Monday through Thursday, 10-hour days. So during that time, I'm not always openly available. Hey, Blessed and Blended. It's such a process with adoption. You were also adopted. There's a lot of us here who are adopted. Even as an adult, exactly. This is why that comment exactly is why I continue to push out the content about my adoption and about things that affect me now and like how things have affected me because of my childhood, to help educate people and to help people who are a part of this community, whether you're an adoptee or an adoptive parent, any struggles you faced, anything like that, just to give you some kind of community, because the people who watch those videos is typically don't always translate into my other videos. It's cool when they do, and I appreciate it, but I make those videos for people who may be struggling or who may want to hear somebody else's story. I keep it pretty surface level. I do get upset. So if you guys don't handle with people, I have a dog hair flying around. If you guys don't handle people getting emotional, I wouldn't advise watching all of them because some videos I get emotional in talking about. I am from Florida. That's where I was technically born overseas. I was born in France, but I was raised in Florida. Starbucks time. Thank you so much, John. You guys are awesome. You guys all made me blush and lose my train of thought, to be honest. Only thing is she asked for feedback, just another slap. Yeah, I know. You're not adopted, but you have friends and family who have been, or friends who have been through foster care and adoption. It's a very tough life to live. Everybody's story is totally different. And that's one of the things I talk about over and over and over again is never project my story onto others. And same with other people. Just because you hear one person's story doesn't mean you've heard them all, doesn't mean they're all the same. You know, I'm somebody who grew up in foster care and was adopted. I was adopted at an older age. I was 10 years old when I was adopted, who, because of everything I went through, decided to go into the social work field to prevent kids from being in the foster care system for 10 years like I was. You were wondering if I had seen it as I'm in that line of work. Seen what? You want a dog video? I'll work on it. My dog's like my husky Paisley, she is 5, but she doesn't sit still. And then my chocolate lab Whiskey is only 2, and neither dog is fixed, and we're not trying to have puppies. It's just something that has happened because we recently moved pretty much across the United States this year, and we just haven't found a stable vet. But they are both just all over the place. My dogs have 0 manners. Do you hold a French and American passport? I don't. I don't have a passport at all, but I was born there, and I have like my original birth certificate from my birth parents. So I think that gets me dual citizenship, but I don't know. Yeah, a lot of people experience foster care and adoption. It is extremely hard. That's why I choose to continue to talk about things like that on my channel. It's not as regular as my other content because I take that content so much more seriously. And I don't mean that to say I don't take my other content seriously, but for that stuff, I really am trying to advocate and educate. So I'm very thoughtful and thorough in how I'm going to talk about those videos. I have not seen that. Oh, Candace. Yeah, if Paisley's really small, so when she goes into heat, it really doesn't end up a mess. She's a small husky, but I'm sure you're aware, if you don't, most dog stores sell like doggy diapers. You can buy them. They're like denim diapers that go over them, over the female, and you can put regular feminine pads in it, to be honest, to save money. And you can just change that out as needed. So when she's not outside to go potty, because you have to take it off of them, but when she's inside and sitting on the furniture and stuff like that, it's not going to get everywhere. Well, thank you for being here, Blessed and Blended. I appreciate you being here. Has Whiskey and Axel met yet? No, Whiskey wouldn't sit still for anything. I think I've tried to show him on live before, and he just won't. I can sometimes get Paisley because I can pick Paisley up and bring her in here. That's true. Pippi Longstocking has another point. A way is you can just purchase normal diapers and cut a dog, like a hole out for the dog's tail. I'm sorry to hear that, Melly Lynn. I'm sure that's hard, and you're probably grieving and working through that process. I hope you are doing well with that. She tears them off in seconds. You've tried. Oh, that's unfortunate. What kind of dog is she? I'll have to look into that, Brooke. I know I've seen a lot of documentaries and a lot of stuff like that about children who experience what I have. But that doesn't sound super familiar, but when you tell me that bit, it does. So I'll have to refresh my memory about it. Your curtains are ruined. I'm sorry. That stinks, guys. You would get those old people disposable diapers. She's a bull terrier. She's feisty. Most terriers are, though. Most terrier breeds can be a pain in the behind. I have talked about it here and there. This has ended up being all over the place. I have talked about it here or there. I worked in a pet store for like 3 or 4 years. It was one of my first jobs that I had. I have also been a dog bather before. I never went to grooming school, so I never did the clipping, but I've done the washing, the blow drying, the nail clipping, the gross parts of making sure your dog smells good when he goes home. So I've had a lot of experience with animals. You met on your mini Australian Shepherd. My parents have an Australian Shepherd. I agree, Tara Lee, that everybody should be supporting one another. Good night, gaming granny. It depends. The target dog. Yeah. You have 2 rat terriers, have had a rat terrier all your life, and you love them. You're old, and age has nothing to do with being able to do makeup or eyeliner. You just have to practice. You definitely just have to practice to get good at it. I was going to ask you guys a question, but I can't remember what question I was going to ask. Somebody DM'd me something and I was going to, so that's right. I don't know if I will ever, at some point I will probably be able to do this. I've had, I just lost my train of thought. I had a subscriber reach out to me and request that I would do like panels to allow the subscribers to come in and not just chat with me, but maybe chat about a particular subject. Is that something that you guys are genuinely interested in? Because if you're genuinely interested in it and it's got a majority vote, I will start to look into that. The only thing is it's not going to happen right away. It'll be a while. I would have to make sure that all of my stuff is set up for that to even occur. If it's not the majority, I probably won't do it. But if the majority of people want to be able to have those conversations either with me, or if you want to just talk about something like, I don't know how it really works. I've only seen a few videos that do the panel thing. I know Sherelle's World does it, and they talk about like 90 Day Fiance and stuff. I don't know what we would talk about, but we could probably figure it out. If that's something that you guys want to do, just let me know, and I will try to have everything ready to do that in a few weeks or a month or so. I could also just put it out as a community post for people to vote as well. You're not on Twitter, you're on Instagram. Hot flashes. What did I miss? What are you waiting for, Brooke? I think I missed something in the chat when I was asking that question. I might just put it on my Instagram, not my Instagram. I don't ever post on my Instagram. I literally use my Instagram just as a way for people to reach out to me. No, the bass. No, I'm not taking Katie's apology seriously. We talked about that a little bit ago. I think it's none of it is in her language, so I don't think she wrote it. I think either her attorneys or a PR team wrote it for her, and she just said it to appease. I think she's really trying to retain the subscribers that are still holding on. And that was her way of doing so. I think it was also to maybe do some damage control. It was very insincere. The whole thing was, and I talked about that earlier. It's very jumpy. There's a lot of jump cuts. There is a lot of like detachment in her voice and how she talks through the apology. It's very insincere. It's very not her. It's not her language. She would never write something or say something like that. She misspoke a couple of times because she was reading a script, which I'm not trying to judge her for reading a script, but if it was words that she wrote, she would be able to say it and not misspeak. She said subscribers at one point. She also said the Washington when she was talking about her attorney. Obviously, I've watched this video too much in depth to be able to form my opinions about it. But there's definitely stuff going on that I don't think it's genuine at all. I think she's just doing it to try and save face, and I think she's doing it because she was told she should. She's already turned, yeah, it was discussed earlier. She just turned the comments off. Yeah, John, I just don't know how. I don't want to not give you guys the option if that's something you guys are interested in doing. I don't know how to do that, but I can figure all of that out. That would be my job to do, and I don't have an issue doing that. Brooke, you should just do it. That is my advice. That's what I did. I just sat down and filmed a video and uploaded it and crossed my fingers and said, if nobody watches it, I'm okay with that because I didn't get on the platform. You have to come on this platform as a creator, not trying to think that you're going to be the next James Charles or think you're going to be the next Smokey Glow because she blew up really quick. You can't come onto this platform to make money. That can't be your thought process, or else you're going to struggle. I'm not on here for money. I'm still not even making money, which is fine with me. But if you come on this platform wanting to make money, it takes a while to get there. And if you're coming at it for just that reason, you're going to not stick with it. James Charles so annoying without makeup. It's interesting. It's just common ground with others. Yeah, I think people, especially nowadays, can tell like when people are being genuine. I think if you start a platform and you're going to be genuine and authentic, you're not going to have an issue. Once you start getting subscribers, the people who will find your channel are going to be the ones that you want to have. There's certain things that you want to do as a smaller creator, like making sure you're using tags and things like that. There are plenty of videos out there on advice on how to start a YouTube channel and ways to help yourself maybe be more successful. I'm going to be making a video not in relation to that. My video is kind of on the polar side, like, hey, there's some serious like weird things like pressure type things that go on behind the scenes as a creator that I have never seen people talk about. And I'm sure all of our experiences are different, but I'm going to provide that to my subscribers. I know a lot of people have told me they want that kind of video just to kind of know because they're interested in starting their own channels. So that will be coming eventually. I keep saying I hope I get to film it tomorrow, but something comes up and I can't. Hopefully tomorrow though, seriously, I'm able to film that. It doesn't mean it'll be up tomorrow. I have my whole nail video that I filmed last weekend. I haven't even edited and put up yet. Leslie just started as a hobby. It was something fun for her to do because she's been a stay-at-home mom. See, and the thing is like I have watched Leslie here and there. I don't watch a lot of I've talked about this before. Leslie seems like a lovely lady, but I haven't watched her content because I'm not into reality TV. So I did go back because I was told, well, not told, but it was advised by some of my subs that I should go watch her video where she talked through her issue with Katie. And I knew there had been drama there. So I went and I watched it, and she's adorable. I don't know how old she is. We may be in the same age range. She may be older. She may be young. I don't mean adorable in a condescending way, is what I'm trying to say. But she is so sweet. She has a Southern accent, so it reminds me of, you know, people, even though I don't have a harsh Southern accent, I'm from Florida. So it is South. Not that many of them have accents like that, but where I was at in Florida does. But I enjoyed like listening to her speak. She's very eloquent in how she speaks. She gets her point across very well. I really appreciated her content, and if she does other content aside from reality TV stuff, I would probably subscribe to her. I haven't looked through her channel to see if she does. Leslie is so amazing. She's very, very sweet. Yeah, where I'm from in Florida, they don't really have too much of a harsh accent, but I lived in the Panhandle, so we were very close to like Alabama and even Georgia. So both states have more harsh accents. So it was pretty common for people to have more Southern accents. Exactly. It does depend on where you live in Florida. Yeah, Brooke, just sit down and do it. It's not going to hurt anything, especially if you're just trying to do it as a hobby. It's definitely not going to hurt anything. I agree. Melly Lynn, she seems very, very sweet. You don't think she'll ever do anything but reality TV? Makeup. In the video I watched, she said she was originally a makeup channel, or she did a few makeup videos. So, I mean, if she ever did stuff like that, I would definitely be interested in that kind of stuff, obviously. Maybe I'll try to just watch her live streams where I'm sure they talk about reality TV, but they probably talk a little bit about themselves as well. You don't have accents in Tampa. Oh, geez. All right, guys. Well, I've been on here for just about 2 hours. I feel sorry for anybody who watches this replay because I think this last, for sure, 30 minutes, maybe even longer than that, had nothing to do with ranting, but that's okay. So for anybody who is here or who has just joined, you can replay. All the ranting happens in the beginning of the video. This last half is just kind of talking. If you aren't subscribed and you want to, go ahead and subscribe. I do have, since I've talked about it, if I can remember to ever have my life together, because I just can't. If you guys are interested in any kind of crafting channels, this is a new thing for us. I'm not very good at it. There will be more content coming up, but this is the other channel that I have. If you ever want to do additional things to support me, you can just subscribe to that channel. I don't anticipate people or expect people to watch that first video. It's like 43 minutes. It's just nothing but music and me doing a glitter cup like this one, but different colors. So if you're interested in any of that, there's the link. You can subscribe to it if you'd like. If you don't like crafting or anything like that, that is fine. Tomorrow night, did I put it was going to be at 7? I think I did. Tomorrow night at 7 will be our open discussion. We are talking about gender roles. So if you want to participate and either give any examples of things where you have been a victim of something like that, or you've had any experiences like that, or want to provide any education from your point of view, I would appreciate if you were there, but you don't have to be. Otherwise, I hope you all are going to have a good day, evening, or night, wherever you are, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.